Embrace them, and here we go. We're jumping into game number 1 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our French Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is a Clem. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open, Bobby. All the predictions, they are open. Place your bets on who you believe will advance to the grand finals. Will be our Terran or our Protoss. I imagine if Clem is in Korea, he recently arrived, as we did not see Clem participating in the Korean weeklies this week. He wasn't in KSL. He wasn't in ESL Asia. So maybe just recently arriving. He's not the only foreigner in Korea. For those who are unaware, Trigger and Estrella are also in Korea as well. They're also spending time. I mean, they've already been in Korea for like a couple of weeks at this point. They've been there for a couple of weeks. And they've been very active in the online tournament scene. Online Korean tournament scene. So it's cool to hear that Clem has joined them. I remember Estrella, he was being very vague. If you remember, it was a couple of weeks ago, Estrella, he was talking about going to Korea and talking about who was going to be there. And he was saying that there's like someone that's like on the fence, and that he doesn't know if they're going to go or not. But he was trying to organize like a group of players to go to Korea. It wasn't Estrella, it was Rainer. Rainer was talking about that. He was talking about a group of players going to Korea, and he was being a little bit vague about one of them. And it might have been Clem. Might have been Clem who had expressed interest in going to Korea. Might have been him that Rainer was referring to. As for now, we are going to be settling in. It is going to be a double gas opener. Double gas into a faster factory out of Clem. Meanwhile, MaxPax going for a standard opener himself, going for a gate expand into Cybercore. Sorry, gate cyber expand even. Standard opener from our Protoss, and a bit of a more tech-heavy or aggressive start out of Clem. This can lead into mine drops, this can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion, this can lead into Cyclones. We'll see where Clem takes us, even into early tank production. As for now, the first Reaper does move out. Cyclone initially is on the way. Have our first Cyclone. And we'll see where Clem takes us. So now we are going to be settling in. We do have our 1-1-1 set up here by Clem. No crazy faster second racks or third racks. Going for our initial Cyclone into add-on. Okay. I'm curious if this is going to be for a tank or for an add-on swap going into Banshee play. Again, Banshees have been quite trendy as of late. Meanwhile, MaxPax opening up Stargate, not Twilight Council. Quite refreshing, actually. Quite refreshing here. We've seen a lot of Blink play at a MaxPax over the past couple of days, so I'm happy to see that he is mixing it up here against Clem. Going for something different, going for a Phoenix opener. Is going for Phoenixes. Clem moving out, does catch the Adept. We go for the add-on swap. We spoke about Banshees. There it is. Banshees are on the way. Again, we've seen a lot of Banshee play from players like Clem, Bjorn, Maru, Ryung as well. And all of the other European Terrans. It's been kind of making its way and permeating throughout the Terran scene. Throughout the Terran players. Typically, it's tank Banshee. And yeah, with the Tech Lab, we should be going for a tank after the Cyclone. We're going for the initial Cyclone because of the Phoenix opener, so we need anti-air. We are respecting the Phoenixes. We back off. We want to defend. We want to minimize losses against the air army of MaxPax. As we're getting up to 4 Phoenixes. Robo's on the way. This could be the beginning of Phoenix Colossus. Yeah, you're tried and true, Pappy. We love it. Phoenix and Colossus. Let's go. Or we could just use this for detection and eventually work towards the Twilight Council into charge. We'll see. We'll see where we take us. We'll see where MaxPax does go. So fan out our Phoenixes. And there it is. The bay is on the way. We have confirmation. Phoenix Colossus. Let's go. Again, a very tried and true meta style. Been around for many, many years. It's quite solid. Phoenixes, they give you map control, and Colossus, they shut down any kind of bioaggression. For now, Phoenixes haven't dealt too much economic damage. And here we go. We are moving out. We spoke about the tank Banshee push, and we are moving out with it. SCVs are going down, and Clem, he doesn't care. Doesn't care. He's moving out across the map with everything he has. Very committed. And what can we get done? No third base yet. We have a shield battery. We have stalkers getting in position. Phoenixes, they're racing back home. Banshee does get into the mineral line. Probes are going down. And we shut down the would-be third. But we need more damage. There we go. The tank is exposed. No, the tank. Oh my god. Tank will survive. Bunker going to be delayed. Another SCV does rebuild, does restart. Tank is far back. Ideally, we want to be within range of the pylon. The pylon is going to fall. Barely do snipe it. And the question becomes, do we try to push into the natural or do we just expand? What do we go for? For now, eBay's on the way. Stim has begun. Yeah, Clem just containing his opponents. Containing MaxPax to 2 bases and denying the third for as long as we can. Even getting within range of the Cyber Core. Yeah, the Cyber Core is under fire. Colossus about to blow out. Phoenix is building up energy, catching reinforcements. Juke at the Cyber Core. Phoenix is moving out. Do you have Marines rallied back at home? At least some Marines, but yeah, we can just focus them all down. There's not enough anti-air. We shut down the Marines, we shut down the tanks. Boys being pulled to repair, and we will barely keep the tank alive a little bit longer. But eventually it does fall. Yeah, brutal pickoffs. Phoenixes, they get a lot done. At the same time, we do lose the Stargate, so no more Phoenix production. But we're stable at 2 bases. No, we have the Colossus. Can't quite push in. And MaxPax is forced to expand elsewhere. Does go for the triangular third base. A very exposed expansion down on the low ground. And Clem is going to have to either pack up and leave or rotate over towards the third base again. Where are we headed? I guess the third option is we can push in into 2 Colossus. Not going to be easy. Yeah, going to be pulling back. That's a kill on the bunker. Backup bunker on the way. Clem still just maintaining his ground here. Gets another pylon. Not a bad pickup. Meanwhile, across the map, Phoenix is going ham. They catch more SCVs. SCVs are going down. Clem is still no third base. Third CC just now on the way. And is still stuck out here. Still no reinforcements either. Like, MaxPax is building up a larger and larger army. Eventually, he can break this. I mean, he doesn't even need to. He's getting up to 3 bases. Getting up to 3 bases. Clem moving out, going to be reinforcing. Let's move out across the map. And he's going for the third. MaxPax going to have to split up his army. As Clem goes for the third base, we could try to push towards the natural and take control of the high ground. Does depend on how MaxPax does split up his army. Clem pushing in with Mass Marauder. Getting ready. MaxPax does split up his Colossus. We have 1 towards that, sorry, 3 towards that. Oh my god, that's a lot of Colossus. 3 Colossus here towards the natural, 1 here on the low ground. It does split up 2 for 2. At the same time, Phoenix is once again catching reinforcements. Getting a Viking. And another. Pylon going down, but yeah, we have Colossus in position. MaxPax is holding. That is a lot of Marauders, though. So far, kiting back. Again, still just a very tense situation. And Clem is going to evacuate. We'll try to get the hell out of here. Is racing back home. We'll see if he does survive. He should be able to. Yeah, Phoenixes, they get caught out. We shut down 2 of the Phoenixes. Oh, barely just the 1. Charge shots diving in, going for the tanks. Hot pickup, we do save them. And crisp control here at a Clem. Let's keep them alive. Prism towards the main. Catching Clem out of position at the same time. Here comes the main army. Remember, 4 Colossus. Massive warping into the main. 4 CC is going to be denied. And the massive Colossus-based army pushing in towards the 3rd. But the Bio army's in position. And Clem, he cannot be broken. Not at the 3rd base. But he can be in the main. Can be broken in the main base. Not enough to defend. SCV's pulled away. Going for the eBay as well. A nice choke point, though. Gonna be able to clean this up. Very nice defense here at a Clem. And because he preserved his army earlier, like, his supply is insane. He did successfully contain his opponent, and MaxPax is still building up. No disruptors. A little bit concerning. Just relying on Colossus. There we go. Disruptors now on the way. So, even though Clem does have a supply lead, if we can get out into maybe 2-3 disruptors, then we can take a fight. And MaxPax can still outtrade Clem. But it will come down to his control. It will come down to these disruptors. As disruptors are amassing. MaxPax is rotating over. Meanwhile, Clem is moving in. What's important here is that Clem is pushing as MaxPax only has 1 disruptor. 2nd is still on the way. Very important timing here for Clem. Clem does max out. MaxPax not too far behind him. Also with a comparable army size. How many Vikings do we have? 11. Pretty good. Solid Viking count. Now to 2 disruptors. 3rd disruptor's on the way. I'd love to see a 2nd robo for double disruptor production. Especially if a fight goes awry. Clem is fanning out. Clem does rotate over. No go. There we goes up. Oh! Massive connection. Take down the Ghost to take down the Marauders. Good Nova to start things off. We have another Nova in the chamber. Ooh, Colossus goes down. Did you get one? Other Nova. Once again, grazes the army. Catches some Marauders. 3rd disruptor has arrived. We catch the disruptor. Oh, it is going to get caught out. Barely nuts. Oh my god. Somehow we keep it alive, but we're down to 1 Colossus. The Vikings, they have done well. We had 4 down to 1 Colossus. Disruptors did survive. And again, MaxPax, he does even up the supply. At the same time, Zali counterattack gets into the mineral line. Does delay reinforcements. We spoke about it, the Novas were good enough. And with that, that massive army lead that Clem once had is not quite there anymore. You just need some Novas, Pappy, some balls. Speaking of, they're trying to sneak in. Nova goes off. Up! Ooh, doesn't quite connect. Not quite. This observer being cheeky. MaxPax, calm down. Oh, as Clem is rallying everything across the map, going right down mid. It will get on top of the 4th base. It's a cancel on the 4th. MaxPax out of position. We're going for the natural. Do we race back home or do we go for a base trade? We're racing back. We're racing back home. Nova going off. Disruptor gets caught out. Ooh. A bit of miscontrol there by MaxPax. Disruptor is going to go down. We just dive into the main. And as the army turns around, now this forward base is exposed. Clem, he's going for the kill. He's going for the 4th, just pulling MaxPax out of position. As everything came back, we have some disruptors to defend, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, he killed the critter. Ah. Also, Clem, he sees the disruptors and he backs off. He's like, nope. I was like, I'm good. Look, he's been done dirty before, okay, by these disruptors. Nah, never again. Clem retreats. MaxPax holds on. The rest of his army does rotate over. MaxPax is holding. forcing the main army's clash. Oh! EMP is looking solid. Nova's going to be going off. We catch some Marauders. A handful of them go down. No, oh no! Massive connection! Yeah, Massive Nova will connect. Clem focusing on the drop. Alas, at the wrong moment. That was Ghost going down Marauders as well. I'm telling you, Papi. Just give up. Oh no! Not again! The balls one after the other. They just keep on landing. MaxPax, calm down. Yeah, it's just becoming a little bit too much. We're collapsing on the main army. We'll shut down the tank, shut down the main force. At the same time, the drop in the main base is being cleaned up. Yeah, MaxPax, he defends, he attacks. He's all over Clem. And will deny the expansion. Just some brutal Novas. Oh my god. That'll be a kill on the CC. And again, any momentum that Clem once had is not there anymore. As his drops are contained. And the main army of MaxPax still moving out, still pushing. Oof. Nova's going up. Gonna get a Protoss in the finals. Don't we always get a Protoss in the finals? What do you mean? Shaking my head. Someone doesn't watch KFC, Papi. Okay, drop getting into the third. Triangular third, I should say. Probes are going down. Nicely done. MaxPax crippling the economy. Nova goes, oh my god! The Novas, they're brutal! Over and over again. Clem, not like this. Taking all the balls to the face, Papi. MaxPax is not holding back. Not anymore. He's unleashing. As we're just bullying the Terran army further and further back towards the natural. We take control of the third base. We have so many disruptors, so many Novas. And we always have at least one available. Just staggering those shots. Zoning the army back. Connecting with SCVs, connecting with fire. All efficient trades here. We always have a Nova. We always disruptor. Oof. And over time, it's all just worth it. Just non-stop Novas. Meanwhile, the drop is coming back in, but there's not much in the main to work with, not much in these medevacs. Drop is coming in. And MaxPax will be forced, or will force back the drops. MaxPax will rotate over, once again denying another CC. That's another base falling down. Meanwhile, Clem does find a Colossus. That was a Colossus floating up into the air. Not bad. Denying another expansion. MaxPax will respond. But still maintains his army. Still maintains his position, marauding around, rotating over towards the fresh mining bases. Drop going into the main. I mean, Clem is doing a lot with this drop, to be fair, but it doesn't matter. No, not again! As we're not looking, Papi. We're just not looking, not paying attention here. Focusing elsewhere on the drop. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god. We are getting into all the disruptors. Finally! We can punish this. Disruptors do fall. But it's too little too late. The damage has been done. Clem, his economy is crippled. He's down to one base economy. And he barely has an army to speak of as well. Oof. If you're a Terran player out there, look away, Papi, look away. It's not safe for Terran. If you're a Protoss, keep your pants on. Ay, ay, ay. As we do focus down, and we do catch 3 of these disruptors, not bad. 3 disruptors go down, but we still have so much more left over. So much left over, Papi. Here come the reinforcements, 3 Archons on the way. MaxPax taking another base, another expansion. Pushing in towards the natural. And again, Clem is barely holding, is barely surviving. Still active with the drop, still has retained it, still kept it alive. But really, we're just waiting for MaxPax to consolidate his forces and push in towards the last mining base, or even the final army of Clem. And speaking of, we do push in. Yeah, we're collapsing the last bastion here for Clem. It does float over his main base as a fresh expansion. But Zelse collapsing. GG against Cole, and MaxPax will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Oh my god. Just a brutal showing there by MaxPax, having some expert play with those Disruptors Purification Novas. There was a time in this game, if you remember, where Clem was up. He was up in army supply. He was up in army, up in economy as well. When he was containing his opponent, he had like a 30 army supply lead. But we spoke about it at the time when the first Disruptor was coming out. We were like, hey, if we can land like 1, 2, 3 Novas like MaxPax, he can bring this back. And he did. Like, he did land those Novas time and time again. Throughout the entirety of that game, we saw some insane Novas. And because of that, despite the supply lead that Clem at one point had, he very quickly lost it. Did lose it, and MaxPax Noble out of control. With that, MaxPax is 1 game away from making it into those grand finals. Let's go. Let us go. What server are they playing in then? So whenever there's someone from Asia going up against someone from Europe, the way that it works is that they alternate between servers. They start US West, then Central, then West, then Central, then West and Central. Back and forth, back and forth. So game 1 was on West. Here, game 2 is on Central. For those that are curious, this is the case for most events. Events like KungFu Cup, World Team League, our events, and most online events, they have the same rule. Just alternate back and forth. Where West slightly favors the player from Asia, Central favors the player from Europe. So there is no exact middle ground there. It's just each game favors slightly one player. Is MaxPax in Asia? Clem. Clem is in Korea. And now we're getting game number 2. Let's go. And as a reminder, this is a best of 3. Does it all end here and now, or do we get an ace match? I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping for a back and forth, but the pressure is now on the Terran player. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. Down in this series, looking to bounce back, it is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss himself, representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. We go. Are settling in and calming things down, and I hope Clem can shake it off here. I'm sure that playing from Korea is not easy. What I'm referring to, we were talking about it earlier. I'm pretty sure Clem arrived a couple of days ago in Korea. Otherwise, he would have been playing in ESL Asia. He wasn't this week. He wasn't in Asia. He wasn't in KSL. And if I remember correctly, I believe Clem, his camera showed that he was in his earlier apartment in WTL over the weekend. So everything was looking normal there, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, playing from a new setup is something we have to get used to, so hopefully Clem is able to get accustomed to that. Fingers crossed. I'm sure that did play a factor into that last game, but it's something we have to quickly get over, especially if we're going to be practicing in a Korea environment. For those that are unaware, it isn't just Clem in Korea. Trigger and Estrella are also in Korea. So Trigger and Max Angel also there. I don't know if there's anyone else. If you maybe have a little bit more information, then let us know. But I'm not familiar with any of the other Europeans also spending time in Korea. So unfamiliar. I do know that Rainer is no longer in Korea. I know that. I know he's having a bit of a vacation back in Europa. Again, I can't remember if he's in Malta. And like we were told the other day, he's either in Malta or like Dubai or like one of those like Mediterranean countries. Like, like he's, you know, he's out there vacationing. It's with the beaches, Pat, with the beaches. But for now, we're settling in. And Clem does open up with a fake proxy Rax. Rax is thrown down here at the natural, not across the map. Trying to force an overreaction. We can see that MaxPax is going for some safety stalkers early on. Shield battery as well, settling into his own Twilight Council opener. probe does confirm the Reaper back at home, so MaxPax is now fully aware of the location of the racks, that it's not proxied, and we can settle into a longer game. Can settle in. As MaxPax does confirm the additional Reaper production, it's going to be Reaper Hellion initially. Just the initial, how many Reapers? Ooh, 4 Reaper double Hellion. Okay, very aggressive start here by Clem. The goal here is to bust into a mineral line. Is to break through the initial line of defense and get into a mineral line and get some economic damage done. And here we go, we're pushing in. Stalker is in position, we just race past. We don't even care, we go straight up for the workers. And how many probes can we get? Very committed play here out of Clem. Goes for the dive, workers are lining up. 2 probes so far. That's it, 2. 5 workers, not bad. We're gonna get 6. Can we get 7? Can we get 8? Up, up. We can get 9. 9 probe kills and a full scout. Not a bad trade. Looking at the units here, it was 4 Reapers, 2 Hellions for 11 probes in total. I mean, 2 of them were scouting probes, to be fair. But 11 workers go down. And with that, Clem is going to be backing off and trying to survive the counterattack. Because here come the Stalkers, and Blink is about to finish. Blink is on the way. We have our 2 gates set up for the time being. We can't throw down the 3rd gateway. MaxPax is moving out. Clem thankfully has the high ground, and he should be able to fend back the army. Blink isn't done. Ooh. Yeah, Blink is not done. MaxPax gets punished. 1 Stalker goes down. Oh my god. Oh, the juggling. Oh, Clem. The juggling party. We saved the Cyclone. The Micro. La Micro. We save the Cyclone, we pull back, gonna be able to repair. Very nicely done. Clem showing off his own moves as well. He's showing off, settling into his 2-1-1, soon to be a 3-1-1 setup. Tanks are on the way, Ravens as well. Clem is securing himself. Meanwhile, MaxPax does not throw down the 3rd gateway. It's 2-gate Blink into a 3rd. Economic opener out of MaxPax. Is going to be an economic opener. MaxPax blinking into the main. Going for the production. Tank is not in position. Yeah, there's no tank in the main base. We get 3, 4 SCV kills, and we are reciprocating that economic damage. May have lost 9 workers earlier, but we get 8 across the map. And we recall back home. We save every single Stalker. Meanwhile, back at home, we do have the Viking drop. Okay. We have Marines, we have Vikings dropping in. But they only take down 2 probes. Not the best trade. Not the best trade here. You can see 2 probes for 8 SCVs, a Medevac Cyclone, not a Viking Cyclone, and 4 Marines. Oh, that was a brutal loss for Clem. And MaxPax has momentum. Momentum is on the side of the Protoss. Ooh, big tank volley going up. MaxPax was on his way towards the main. He's still going. Still making his way over. Ooh, going for the Raven, catching a straight tank. No! Tank goes out, we get 1, and we're gonna get a 2nd tank as well. Brutal pickups. Oh my god. It's gonna cost us how many? 3 Stalkers or 2 tanks? Well worth it. Well worth it for the Protoss. If Clem wanted to move out with the tank push, he no longer can. The tanks, they're gone. And MaxPax is picking Clem apart. Stim isn't done either. We cannot punish the Stalkers. The Marines are forced back. Clem is struggling. He's going to be struggling here, going for some auto harass, some desperation auto harass across the map. Let's go. Once we are in position. Raven dipping in, Clem moving out, Stim is now done. We can go toe-to-toe with the Stalker army. Up! Oh my god. Almost catching the medevac. Auto turrets into the main. 2 probes, not bad, and a shield battery. But very efficient trades here by MaxPax, shaving off more Marines. More prisoners moving out. Back at home, we do have a 3rd CC finishing up. Clem is not all in. Is working on the next step. Building up towards that third CC. Does move down, runs into the main army. Drive the force field. Ooh, the mine shot's not bad. Get some decent connections, but we chase down the medevac. Medevac does fall. Clem has to get the hell out of there. Fourth base, getting up and running. Prism getting ready as well with those zealots, with those warp ins. We do have 2 Winter Mines in position. We're ready for this. Oh, we are getting ready. And the mines. Yeah, they're going to connect. One of them will. Oh, the other will barely not. Zealots are unloaded. Winter Mines go down. At the same time, MaxPax is pushing in towards the third base, and Clem is out of position. Is out of position, the base, taking a lot of fire. Does take a lot of hits. Force field thrown down. Clem can try to collapse on this, but we have Zealots to reinforce. We're getting on the main army. And it looks like Clem, he can barely hold on with these marauders. They're not even, we have to pull the boys. We have to pull the boys, and we can hold. Meanwhile, in the main base, we have a big warp in. 17, 18 SCVs going down. 19. Over a full mineral line. And we're not done. We're reinforcing. We're going to keep on pushing towards that third. Zealots from behind. Zealots from all around here as we deny any kind of mining. Going for the CC. Can we focus it down? It's going to be close. We have repairs. We barely have the repairs. We save the base. Clem is holding. Barely. We'll even try to force friendly fire. Rallying the Colossus across the map. A bold move. Zealots into the main. GG gets called. MaxPax pulls Clem apart, and MaxPax will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. MaxPax popping off, Bobby. Popping off. Aye. GG, well played. Again, MaxPax just having an insane performance, especially in game 1. Game 1, Clem was ahead, if you remember, and then MaxPax just snowballed from there, was able to... Sorry, as we're getting things ready. MaxPax was able to recover, able to get a fourth base up and running, able to get into disruptors, and able to flex that mid to late game army control. Here in game number 2, we had some early game aggression. I mean, initially, Clem was being punished, as Clem was, as he bled out his Reaper Hellion, he was vulnerable to Blink Stalkers, and we saw so much damage being done by the Blink Stalkers of MaxPax. It's what he's known for. It's what he's best at, his Blink Stalker control, and he just picked Clem apart left and right. It was insane how much value he was getting. He was catching medevacs, catching tanks, catching marines, SCVs, and lastly was just crippling Clem. And with that, congratulations. MaxPax will advance on. And the question becomes, who will face off against MaxPax in those finals? Will it be a Terran or a Protoss? What's it going to be? As we switch on over, it's going to be Classic versus Oliveira in a best of 3. Is coming up next.